Hey guys, so today it's going to be an ASMR lo-fi video with my cat because I'm cold and he's warm and he smells good. I look like shit. I look like I died and like someone brought me back to life, but like they forgot to um like keep my body from decomposing. I mean, they didn't fix me like entirely. Okay. Anyway, so today I want to. Oh wait, I forgot to put my phone in Do Not Disturb. Qui sont trop bons, mon amour. Mais oui, mon amour. Anyway, so I've been thinking about making that video for a while. For 6 hours. Okay, so we all know who Chris Watts is. Okay, he's a family annihilator. Okay, you know what? English is not my first language, so never mind. Today I want to talk about the theory that Nichole Kessinger had something to do with the whole, thing. Okay, so it's a theory that basically she helped Chris Watts exit his pregnant wife and his daughters, Bella and Sissy. So the reasons why I think that is because I've watched YouTube videos. I'm not saying this happened, but the fact that she stalked Shannan on Facebook and then she said that she didn't know that she was pregnant. She stalked her, and also she made an internet search about people who wrote a book about the about I know okay, just because I don't know, this is like something like kessinger. Okay, internet history. Okay, so holy shit. Okay, Nichole Kessinger claimed she didn't know Chris Watts was married when they began an adulterous affair when he killed his wife and 2 daughters. Okay, so for example, Nichole Kessinger, she spent over 2 hours searching Google for wedding dresses just 9 days before Watts killed his wife and 2 daughters. And also, Jesus, okay. Okay, so I'm sorry, this is taking some time. On July 24th, Kessinger Google searched the phrase "man I'm having affair with says he will leave his wife." On August 8th, Kessinger searched Google on topics relating to marrying your mistress. Like, and I'm pretty sure she stalked Shannan, sorry, on Facebook, because um, it's not vape on baby Yule. Did people hate Amber Frey? Kessinger typed into an internet search, invoking the name of the woman who was having an affair with Scott Peterson, Jesus, who murdered his wife, Lacey, and their unborn child in 2002. I'm sorry, but that's weird. Why would you search like stuff like that on the internet? And in a police interview, she said she didn't know he was married, but then she's searching stuff like man I'm having an affair with says he's leaving his wife. Like, when Kessinger revealed her identity to the media, she said she barely knew Watts and that we had just met. She said the two were taking it slow and didn't discuss any long-term plans. And she didn't realize he was cheating on his wife with her until his many lies were revealed after his family went missing. The documents show that Kessinger reached out to the authorities about the affair before they contacted her, although they also reveal that she acknowledged deleting all of Watt's information from her phone prior to meeting with police. Oh my god. Also, the police examined Kessinger's phone, found Howard worth of searches for Shannan Watts, and after the murders, a search using the phrase "can cops trace text messages." I think the police investigation, it was centered on Chris Watts. Sorry, I'm sick. Which is completely normal because he killed his family, and he was, he confessed, even though, that he confessed, first a false story. Okay, so basically, in order to be able to, get him for murder, you need to find a way of him acknowledging that his family didn't go missing. So, police have I never know. Okay, so in interview, when police question you, they have some ways of some police tactics to get the information they need. And also, we'll talk about it later. So, basically, after a while, being questioned by the police, he was, he was anxious. He was, and even before that, when the police wasn't suspecting him, well, kind of. I think there's a 2 hours, video and it's only the police, body cam. So you can see Shannon's best friend, and honestly, I think we all deserve a best friend like her. Okay, so Shannon's best friend, she was supposed to take Shannan to a medical appointment, and she's been knocking, you know, at the door, knocking on the door, and no answer. So everybody looks, through the windows, and I don't know, something doesn't feel right because I don't know, Shannan. It, it didn't sound like her. It was kind of weird that first she wouldn't answer the door, and second that she wouldn't send a message to her best friend about not being able to make the appointment. So her best friend, I'm sorry I don't remember her name, she calls the police for a welfare check. So an officer arrives at Shannon's house, and he starts knocking on the door. He goes all around, the house, looking through the windows, knocking on the windows, and he doesn't see anything weird, anything that might, push him to actually go inside the house without the owner's permission, which is, whom is Chris Watts or Shannan. Oh oui, bah oui mon amour, je sais. And I don't know, so they, Shannon's best friend, she tried to reach Chris multiple times, and so at one point he arrives, and on the phone, apparently he didn't seem that worried about the whole thing, which is weird because if you know that your wife has a medical appointment and she's 15 weeks pregnant, if my wife, I don't have a wife, but if my wife was pregnant and she wasn't answering her phone, she wasn't at home, and she was supposed to meet her best friend to go to the doctor, I would be worried, okay? I would be worried, I would start being crazy, and I wouldn't have acted the way Chris Watts had been acting in the body cam footage for the whole, it was weird, it was shady, and even when he gave interviews to the press, pleading for his family to come back, and I don't know. So there are two videos for the body cam footage, which are the same. There's one without commentary, and there's one with commentary that explains some stuff. I watched both of them. Okay, so first Chris Watts comes to the house. He goes into the garage, and he stays there for 1 or 2 minutes, which is weird because we don't know what he was doing. We don't know what happened. Maybe he was trying to hide something. I don't know, it's weird. So basically, then he comes back, and the officer goes inside the house. So they start, looking everywhere. And at one point, they are in the girls' bedrooms, and Chris Watts said the blankets, the girls' blankets, are gone. And then he was like, they don't go anywhere, without them. And he faked being worried, and that's just, I don't know, it's weird. Okay, so then at one point, Chris Watts is on his phone, and he's trying to contact, I don't know, like, Shannan, and he's just, on his phone doing stuff. And you can see the difference between Chris Watts, reacting to the fact that Shannan has basically disappeared with, his two daughters, and the reaction from Shannon's best friend. And I think it's just not polite to not mention her name, because she was literally the best. So, and like, she deserves, literally, she deserves a whole video dedicated to her. Okay, wait, is her name Nichole as well? Nichole Kessinger? Nichole, okay. Someone posted something on Reddit. Okay. Okay. Yeah, her name is Nichole. And like Nichole, best friend, she's just worried and she's frantic and she just wants to find her best friend. And like the girls, the girls were like 4 and 2. They're not even girls, they're like babies. Like, so anyway, at one point, Chris Watts is, facing, like he has his back turned to the officer, and he's on his phone. So after finding the ring that Shannan left on, the nightstand, which was definitely, planked, left there by Chris, the officer decides to. Okay, so basically, when an officer wants to check if someone is like kind of guilty, they do a like, on the walkie-talkie, sorry, they do a check. So basically, they pretend they are, like, talking to the police, but it's like just anyway, he says something like, yeah, I got a, for fuck's sake, I am so bad at describing this. I'm French, okay. Okay, basically it's a test to see what Chris Watt's reaction will be to the officer talking on the walkie-talkie. So it's the officer does that on purpose to see his reaction. Just go straight to the point, Victoria. So he does a and like, I shit you not, Chris Watts turns around and like he looks at the officer and you could see the fear in his eyes, and like, that's just weird, something's not right. Anyway, so the neighbor, he has a camera, okay, on his porch, and it kind of, you kind of, see in Chris Watts' driveway, and so they watch it. So first they go into the neighbor's house, and they put it on the TV. And so they watch the camera and the footage, and so they're like, okay, here's the footage. We can see maybe we can see the girls, the babies, and Shannan, but you can't really see anything except that Chris Watts around, I don't know, early hours, put his pickup and put stuff on it, but I don't know if it was inside or outside, and the neighbor was like, he doesn't usually do that, but I'm not sure, okay? It's been a while since I've watched the footage. Anyway, so at one point, they just, go back on, to the TV, and they stop looking at the footage, and now it's just, normal TV playing, and there were ads and stuff like that. And Chris Watts was putting his head worried, but you could see that he was worried about something else, not about his family missing. So at one point on the TV, there's an ad, and you can see a fetus inside, the womb. An animation. I don't know, maybe it was an ad or a documentary, I don't know. So he looks at it, and then he turns to the officer and he's like, she's pregnant. I'm like, okay, so maybe we're 45 minutes or 1 hour into the video, into the footage, and you just decide now to tell the officer she's pregnant. Of course the officer knows, because Nichole told him, because Nichole just knows what she has to say. And I think Chris Watts knows that if he talks too much, he might reveal stuff that will incriminate him. Anyway, let's go back to the interview footage that happened at the police station, okay? So you can see Chris Watts in a room with 2 police officers, a man and a woman. So, God, I look like shit. Okay, so he's literally tired, he's anxious. We can see that, he's not doing well. And the police officers, they're like, if you need to tell us something, you need to tell us what happened. So, I don't know when they found Shannan and the baby's bodies, but anyway, at one point, the policewoman goes towards, Chris, and she started, rubbing his back, and she was like, did something happen? Did Shannan try to hurt the girl or the babies, and what happened? So Chris Watts, then he was like, you know what, they're going to know that they were murdered, and they're going to know the whole truth. So he started talking about how Shannan had killed, Sissy and Bella, and he was so angry that he strangled her. So then Oh, also he failed a polygraph, but technically, polygraphs are not, foolproof. Wait, no, are not, they are not even admissible in court. So he tells, that story about how, Shannan kills the babies. And so basically, the police officers, had their foot in the door. They were like, he, confessed to, something like a murder, and we know it's a lie because we were the one who planted the idea. And lots of people said that it was entrapment and that they manipulated him. But anyway, so at one point he's like, he can't take it anymore, and he confessed the whole thing. So yeah, he almost stopped the video. Je peux mordre ta tête. Anyway, oh look at him. Let's talk about Nichole kessinger. She had a part in it. She was not innocent. The thing is, she lied to the police. She, her history, her search history showed that she knew a lot more than she admitted, than she would admit, and that just doesn't sit right with me. Because how would you know? Like, to search something about a mistress of of a family and a year later, and why would you stalk Shannan like this on Facebook? Because Shannan loved posting on Facebook, and with her babies, and just videos about her family, and like she was like online on Facebook. If Nichole kessinger really did look at Shannan's profile, I'm starving, she would have known everything. Also, in a camera footage from, I think it's the neighbor's security camera, or like in some other like camera, you can see really like someone, like a shadow of someone, like a silhouette of someone, and it looks like a woman who has a ponytail and is just walking. It's really small, it's like you can barely see it, but lots of people think that it was Nichole kessinger because so yeah, she knew about it. She had a part in it. I'm not saying that she helped him, get rid of stuff, but I think I don't think she helped, with the murder, but I think she helped getting rid of evidence and stuff like that. Because the more we think about it, the more it becomes obvious. It is obvious. And I don't know, I think there should have been an investigation that really concentrated on her, because how can you look at the search history of that woman and not be like, hey, that's kind of weird because she's been lying to us. So yeah, she's guilty. She did something. She can I get like sued over this? No, this I have like 355 subscribers. She won't even see that video. But yeah, imagine those babies, last moments, like when they are literally in Chris, like in the car with Chris and they see, like the girls are sitting in the back and they see, Shannan's body and they're like, is mommy okay? Oh, is that? Oh, she stepped on you. Okay, fine. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about it. I don't know, it's just, I'm not obsessed with it, but I don't know. So the reason why I wanted to, film this video is because I was listening to true crime from Stephanie Sue. So it's called Rotten Mango, and I went back to listening, true crime, even though it's kind of scary. I don't really. Wait, sorry. And basically, in her video, she was talking about a man who, accidentally stumbled upon his girlfriend's personal belongings, and he didn't really want to look at it, because he was like privacy is really important. And he saw a bunch of letters, but the letters, the address was to a prison. So he started reading the letters, and then he found out that the letters were addressed to Chris Watts. And he was like, my wife has been talking to him, and some of the letters, have weird stuff in it. And he was so shocked that, like it was a side of his girlfriend that he had no idea, it was even there. So, and then I thought about Chris Watts and Nichole Kessinger, and I don't know. Because I remember when I was doing true crime and I was reading, Wikipedia, pages about different criminals. And I think I might go back into doing true crime, but this one I'll just, research the stuff and kind of talk like this about it. Even though the problem is that when I'm talking about something, I start going in something and then something else. And like my brain doesn't stop. Like I can't do the linear, oh, for fuck's sake. But yeah. Well, when I think about that, I just, sometimes when you want to go back in past and like warn people like, hey, be careful. I don't know. It's just, it's scary. It's really scary. I mean, some people will, instead of, going through a divorce, because he knew he will have to pay alimony, and he just wanted, to have a clean slate, to have his life with Nichole Kessinger without a wife, a pregnant wife that could, like take half of what he had. And he wanted, like he wanted to get rid of them. And I think Nichole Kessinger knew about his family and she agreed. So yeah. Anyway.